Hello everyone. Now, in the last session, we have started the third multiple access technique, that is the code division multiple access. Now, in today's session, we are going to study the two methods related to CDMA that is called as spread spectrum techniques. First, that is we are going to discuss that is about the direct sequence spread spectrum, and second, we are going to discuss about the frequency hopping spread spectrum, right? And how the PN sequence can be generated using this code, right? So let's start with this spread spectrum techniques. Now, the topics to be covered in this session are the first, spread spectrum techniques, that is the direct sequence, then advantages of spread spectrum, PN sequence, and last, that is the frequency hopping, right? Now, first, what is the spread spectrum techniques? So in the last session, we have discussed that how the CDMA works, how we have seen about the transmitting side and the receiving side of that particular signal, right? And how PN sequence is used for transmitting as well as receiving purpose, right? Now, the advantages of spread spectrum is that many users can simultaneously use the same bandwidth without interfering with each other. That means the code is orthogonal to each other. That means there is no relation between the codes, and the code is connected with the PN sequence, and this code is transmitted with the help of this PN sequence without interfering with each other with the whole frequency band. Therefore, frequency is the spread spectrum is not economic when the number of users is less. Right now, spread spectrum is a form of wireless communication in which the frequency of transmitted signal is deliberately varied, resulting higher bandwidth. And the frequency channel capacity can be found with the help of this Shannon theorem, that is C is equal to B, that stands for bandwidth, log with the base to 1 plus S by N, that is signal to noise ratio. Right? In this given equation, C is the channel capacity in bits per second, which the maximum data rate for which the bit error rate is found out. Right? And B is the equal channel bandwidth in hertz, and S by N is the signal to noise ratio. Now, what are the different spread spectrum techniques? So, spread spectrum, as we have discussed, it is used wideband noise-like signals that are hard to select, intercept, and demodulate. So, additionally, spread spectrum signals are hard to jam, that is interface with the narrowband signals, and they are so wide that they transmit at much low spectral power density measured in watts per hertz that narrowbands transmitters. Right, and they occupy the same band with little and no interference, and the capability is more. So the spread spectrum is used in worldwide today, right? And these are the two spread spectrum techniques. First, that is the direct spread spectrum, and second, that is the frequency hopping, which we will discuss each one by one in detail, right? Now, direct sequence, that is these direct sequence code division multiplexes, that is DSCDMA, is this technique to multiplex users by different codes. That what does the direct segments do? Each users will have the different codes, so the user will be multiplexed with the help of these different codes, and they are transmitted over a one channel. Right? In this technique, the same bandwidth is used by the different users. So each user is assigned with one of its spreading code, and these codes are divided into two sets. First, that is the orthogonal set, and second, that is the non-orthogonal set. Right? Welch sequence comes into the first category, which orthogonal codes, whereas other sequence, that is a PN gold sequence and Kasami are the shift register sequence. Right? So orthogonal codes are assigned to the users. The output of the correlator in the receiver will be 0 except the desired sequence. So as we know, what are the orthogonal codes, that is the codes of the two users are different, so there is no relation between them. The correlation of this orthogonal code will be 0, so there will be no interference between these users. Right? In synchronous direct sequence, the receiver receives the same code sequence which was transmitted, so that there is no time shift between the users. Now, As you can see in the figure, this is the transmitting side of this directive sequence. So as you can see, the user data will become in terms of the codes, right? It is modulated, as we know that we need, if we want to transmit the data at a high frequency, we need to modulate the signals, that is our voice and data signals, into any using any modulation scheme. So the modulation will be occurred, right? And after this modulation, we are doing the secondary modulation, that is nothing but the spreading of signals. So the PN signals will be encoded with the user code, and then it is transmitted. So two types of modulation here will be occur. First, that is our primary modulation, which is either based on our digital signals, either ASK, FSK or TSK, and the after this primary modulation, the secondary modulation will happen based on this spread spectrum techniques, right? So the PN sequence will be attached with our code, and so the encoded code will be long, so the spreading of the sequence will be happening, right? And in the figure you can see the graph also, right, where there is a graph of data rate versus time, right? So here the data first graph is shown, that our code is shown in the terms of square brackets, right? Now after spreading the sequence, it is a narrow band signal, and it is modulated with the help of this high modulation frequency using some digital modulation techniques, either FSK or PSK, and this signal will be transmitted further with the help of transmitting antenna. Now, what are the different advantages of spread spectrum? So, since the signal is spread over a wide frequency band, the power spectral density becomes very low. That means the signal or the data will be narrow band up to some level, right? So other communication system does not suffer from this kind of communication, and however the Gaussian noise increases. Now, what are the different advantages? So first, that is the multipath will be agreed with, or the large number of codes can be generated, allowing the large number of users. So the code will be generated use as it is converted is using the spread spectrum. It is converted into a narrow band signal. So the large number of users are allocated, and the large number of codes are generated. In spread spectrum, there is no limit of users, whereas there is limitation of users in FDMA technology, as the frequency slot are limited over the whole spectrum. Right? Now, security, that is without knowing the spreading code, it is hardly possible to recover the transmitted data. That means if the PN sequence is not known to user at the detected side, then the user code will be not encoded at the receiver side. And last, this is descending rejection. That is, as large bandwidth is used in the system, it is less susceptible to deformation. Now, how does this PN sequence, what is just pseudo random noise sequence, and how it is generated in this CDMA? So let's discuss what is this PN sequence, which we have seen while encoding this signal in the last session. Right now, this direct sequence CDMA system uses two types of spreading sequence. First, that is the PN sequence, and second, that is the orthogonal codes. The PN sequence is generated by the pseudo random noise generator. It is simply a binary linear blocks feedback shift register consisting of XOR gates and shift register. So the pseudo random noise signal will be generated using this. First, that is the shift register. It will contain of three blocks. First, that is the shift register. Second, that is the XOR gate, and third, that is again a shift register for transferring the data to the transmitting side. This PN generator has the ability to create a sequence identical for both the transmitter as well as the receiver, and it will retain the desirable properties of the noise randomness bit sequence, right? And it has many features such as almost equal number of zeros and ones, so there is very low correlation between the shifted versions of the sequence, and also there is very low as there is very low correlation, so the noise addition as well as interference will be also low. And last, that is, it is able to correlate well with itself and its inverse, right? So that means the sequence is generated randomly, and all the sequence which are generated, they are orthogonal to each other. So whenever you will find a correlation between the signals and its inverse. When you find the correlation with its inverse, so it will be equal to 1, and when you find the correlation with itself, then it will be equal to 0. Right. Another important aspect is the autocorrelation of the sequence, as it determines the ability to synchronize and lock the spreading code for the received signal. So again, with the help of this PN signals at the receiving side, right, whenever we are going to receive or detect the signals, this PN signals will autocorrelate with this with its sequence only, and if the sequence is matched, then it will lock the spreading code and the signal will be detected. Now, the PN sequence is a sequence of binary numbers, that is plus or minus 1, which appears to be random, which we have seen in the transmitting as well as receiving side in the last session in the introduction of CDMA, right? But it is in fact perfectly deterministic. That means from the data, you can determine either the value will be a -1 or +1 based on the numbers, right? And PN sequence are used in two types of spreading techniques. First, that is DSSS, that is direct signal spread spectrum, and second, that is FHSS, that is frequency hope spread spectrum, right? And if this pseudo random sequence uses PSK, then it will result in direct sequence, and if it uses FSK for modulation, then it will result in the frequency hoping spread spectrum, right? So that was all about this direct sequence spread spectrum, right? Now we will discuss the second type of spread spectrum technique, that is the frequency hopping, right? So let's discuss first of all what is frequency hopping. So frequency hopping is a spread spectrum in which the propagation takes place by hopping in frequency over a wideband. That means the whole data is spreaded over the whole frequency band, right? And the signal is detected with the help of FSK modulation and demodulation. Now, the precise order in which the break occurs is determined by the hopping table generated by using a pseudo-random code sequence. So again, this PN sequence will be used while decoding as well as encoding this code sequence while transmitting as well as receiving set. Now, this hopping rate is a function of the speed information. So the order of frequencies is selected by the receiver and is detected by the pseudo-random noise sequence. So what does this frequency hopping does that? So without while while transmitting the whole data, what we can do is we can transmit the data parts by parts, right? And some parts which are not necessary for transmission and which can be actually received when the signal is received, which can be actually detected, that signal is eliminated while transmitting, right? So whenever there will be a whole code is detected at the receiver side, automatically this eliminated signal will be attached with the help of this data sequence, right? So frequency hopping, that means we need to eliminate this frequency which or data of that particular frequency which are not needed at the time of transmitting side. Although the transmission of frequency hopping signal spectrum is quite different from that of a direct sequence signal, it suffices to note that the data is distributed over a signal band and is larger than necessary to carry. So in both the cases, the resulting signal will appear as a noise, and the receiver uses a similar technique which used in transmission to recover this signal. So ultimately, in frequency hopping signal, we are eliminating those data through those are which are not used for or which are not necessary for transmitting, right? And which can be easily detected when the signal is received back at the detector side. Now, here you can see the figure of transmitter and receiver for the frequency hopping. So in the frequency hopping, we are using this FSK modulation. So in this, what we can do is here FM modulated data is input given over the mixture, and mixture is having either will convert into intermediate frequency by connecting with the local oscillator, right? And then this frequency, intermediate frequency, is generated, which is a radio frequency, is power amplified and is transmitted with the help of transmitting antenna. Now, This local oscillator which is connected with the frequency synthesizer. So the frequency which we need to eliminate in this particular data while transmitting, that is given with this frequency synthesizer, so that will eliminate and the intermediate frequency will be generated, right? And this eliminated frequency is generated with the help of this Hoping code generator. Clear? And whenever you at the receiving side, the signal is received with the help of antenna. It is passed through the band pass filter, then LNA, which is our most important for any receiving blocks, right? Then it is passed through this image reject filter, so the noise as well as the image frequency which is generated at the modulation side will be rejected. Then again this frequency synthesizer and Hoping generator will be applied at the local oscillator. So the intermediate frequency which has been eliminated to at the transmitter side will be added at the receiver signal. And then this this signal will be passed to IF filter and frequency discriminator, right? And finally the output data or output received signal in the form of codes will be get after receiving this after processing this information. Clear? So that's all for today's session. In this session, we have discussed the two main spread spectrum techniques, that is the direct sequence spread spectrum and frequency Hoping spread spectrum, and how the PN sequence is generated for both these techniques, that is DSSS and FHSS. Right? So that's all for today's session. Thank you for watching.